Kia ora bros and girls, welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the first vid of the variant 1 boss kills. So this is the variant 2 chapter 1 boss kills, and this boss has this thing called backlash, which is kind of annoying because what it means is it drains your power every time you have a buff on. So basically anytime you dex or you try to evade his SP1, you're going to lose about 25% of your power. You're going to take a bit of damage as well, and so you can't spend this whole fight just really evading his specials or blocking his specials, because that's the other option, not to lose power. So what you really need here is probably power control, and the trick that worked really well for me is magic. Now this magic's only rank 4. I think she's unboosted in this one. I think she's boosted up in the next fight, but you'll notice that I don't actually evade that SP1. What I try to do is I try to block the SP1. And what I'm really working at here is getting magic to her SP2. Once she's at SP2, she's able to power lock him, and you can use the backdraft intercept method. Now, the start of this fight is a little bit shaky because at this point in time, I'm just kind of... This was the first time I was trying to play around with this strategy and see if it works, to see if you're able to one-shot him. But it does work. So the trick here is if you must create some space, you can parry him and then dash back without applying the buff, or you can just again remove the dexterity completely, and that will help with a few of the bosses in variant 1. But once you got them power locked, they can't throw their special, so you're never going to really evade by dashing back. You're never triggering a buff with magic, and so the backdraft intercept method really works. This guy here was not very cooperative with that, and he might be right at the end, but as you can see here, he's playing he's got really defensive AI. He's always got his block up, and so I'm not able to go straight back in. And in the second fight, it works a little bit better. But even so, even if you've got a parry, you're going to take a lot less damage than trying to evade the specials or trying to block specials. So power control here is really a must. I found magic to be the absolute best solution for this one. Also because with the Warlock synergy, she hits her really hard in limbo, and if you can put Warlock Morningstar along with magic, she's going to do so much damage within that limbo that this fight's going to be over pretty quick. But the trick there is just getting to your SP2 first, and you're never going to get to the SP2 if you evade his specials. So you've just got to stand your ground, take the block, take the damage initially. Once you're at 2 bars of power, you're going to completely shut him down, and it's going to be sweet. Now this fight I boost up, and the AI I think becomes a little bit more cooperative, and I'm able to do a little bit more backdraft intercepting with magic, I think. So I've got 20% attack boost, I've got a 25% health, I've got a champion boost, and I've got the mystic special boost on. And if you're struggling, I would recommend boosting up, particularly for these boss fights, because it can be quite niggly, especially chapter 2 of variant 1. So once again here I try to block, and I'm building up my my meter. I have to kind of evade that one, unfortunately, and I take a little bit of a hit there, but then I make my distance. I take that block, and I'm working towards building up that SP2, and once I'm at that SP2, now I'm okay. And here he's less defensive, so he's playing open, and I can do those backdraft intercepts, which is basically medium, light. You dash back, he comes at you, and then you dash straight into him again with a medium, and then light. And once you get to the SP2, throw the SP2 to power lock him, and then dash in to start your special. Now ideally, if he is playing aggressively and not defensively like in the last fight, then when you dash in after that SP2, he'll be open. If he plays defensively, then when you dash in, he's going to take a block like that, and then you're just going to have to try and parry and start it again. And sometimes you get in a few cycles where he is playing defensively, but using this method, you can basically keep him always power locked. You're never going to really evade his special. You're never going to take block from his specials. If anything, if he does play defensively, you might have to take a parry here and there, but if you keep him shut down, it's basically very easy. Now his animations are actually Iron Man's animations, but because in this fight that's not really important because you're not looking at evading his animations, you're looking at blocking them and going into him and power controlling him. I didn't even mention that at the start of the vid. So I'm hoping that this helps you out to take this boss in one shot with one of your magics, maybe even if maxed out 4-star. If it did, please do subscribe because subscribing really actually does help support the channel. You have no idea. So if you do that, I'll be very grateful. And then I'm going to throw in a little bonus as well, which is the mini beforehand. So the mini beforehand is a crit. It's like a dulled mutant drone, and this mutant drone is Electro. And I keep talking about Electro and all my guys. I keep talking about his SP1 being tricky to evade, his SP2 being tricky to evade. You've seen in variant 1 that we fight this guy as a boss. And the one reason we mess up is because we mistime one of the specials, just one of the specials. So the good thing here in this one, in map 1 of chapter 2, is you're going to bring a power controller anyway, and magic can take care of both of these guys. Yeah, so if you're able to get in here and power lock this guy and evade his first special, then you can use the same trick on this one as you're going to, and it's a practice fight really, that you're going to use on the actual boss, which is the Mystic Drone. And if he's continually power locked apart from his first SP, then he's never going to never going to have to deal with evading his SP1 or his SP2, and he becomes a really, really easy, straightforward fight. So we've used magic basically for most of those two fights. Definitely I've got the Warlock synergy. I don't know if I have Morningstar synergy in this one, but if you do have a Morningstar, I'd highly recommend you put her in there, because with Warlock you get another like 50% or 500 attack rating or something with magic, and Morningstar gives another 500. So with Morningstar, Warlock, and magic, you'll be doing a ton of damage every time you go into limbo. And seeing as all these fights are about getting into your SP2, and all these SP2s we're going to put you into limbo, you'll be doing massive damage. So I would suggest this is your best team. This is your best way to be able to one-shot this boss without having to use revives or units. And yeah, hopefully it helps you out. Stay tuned, because we're going to release the next one, the one-shot of Chapter 2 Quest 2 and Chapter 2 Quest 3. Ka kite anō, bros and girls.